indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Why is it so crowded?
Public art.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Is this mine?
Lamb,
Here.
Rose.
Here.
Shields,
Here.
Simpson.
Here.
Coin,
Here.
Hilberg.
Here.
Colasar.
Here.
Reading of the minutes.
Mr. President,
Mr. Shields.
I move that the minutes of the regular meeting of March 10th, 2014, as prepared and submitted by the clerk, be approved.
Second. Discussion. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Rose,
Yes.
Shields,
Yes.
Simpson,
Yes.
Coin,
Yes.
Hilberg.
Yes.
Colasar.
Yes.
Lamb.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Reports of standing committees. The Finance Committee met prior to council and will meet again in 2 weeks prior to council. The Health, Safety, and Sanitation Committee, Mr. Rose.
Thank you, Mr. President. Nothing to report, no meeting scheduled.
Thank you. Public Properties Committee, Mr. Shields.
Thank you, Mr. President. No report this evening and no meeting scheduled at this time.
Thank you. Special Legislation Committee, Mr. Lamb.
Thank you, Mr. President. Held no meetings, but I will be scheduling a meeting sometime after spring break to take a look again at public art.
Thank you. Streets and Sidewalks Committee, Mr. Simpson.
Thank you, Mr. President. No meeting scheduled at this time.
Thank you. And Water and Utilities Committee, Mr. Colzar.
Thank you, Mr. President. We're still working with the administration to try to set a future date, but nothing's concrete right now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Requests for council action. We have several for the Finance Committee. We have 1452, purchase of Concord Dump Body Street Department. 1453, accepting Enterprise Zone no convene notice and minutes. 1454, advance request from account number 001 to 319H, grant fund account number 134. 1455, budget amendments. 1456, establish new fund, section 319H, non-point source grant fund, account number 134. 1457, Firehouse Museum Progress Archive Commission legislation redraft. 1458, ODOT cooperative purchase sodium chloride. 1459, resolution of support for issue number 1. 1460, expenditure over $15,000, Arnold Masonry, public buildings. 1461, amending ordinance 1514, backup building official. 1462, raising of buildings on city-owned property at 342 East Smith Road. 1463, bids Wadsworth Road water main. 1464, bids Gunnison Court reconstruction. 1465, consent legislation with ODOT, traffic signal State Route 3 and High Point Drive. 1466, expenditure of Medina County Sanitary Engineers water emergency. And 1467, job creation grant for Discount Drug Mart. Reports from municipal officers. Mayor Hamel.
Thank you, Mr. President. The new city website is up. Some adjustments are still being made and information being uploaded. So please let us know if there's anything you think that we're missing as we continue to work on it. There was a request, and we do have money left in the PO to have kind of a rolling banner for water breaks, for trash days changing, for public emergencies. So we're working with the software, well the website host, to implement that for us. And I can't tell you how long that may take, but that's in process. The building official replacement process, we advertised for a second round. The resumes were due this past Friday, March 18th. And March 18th, that's not right.
21st.
21, thank you. We have a number of potentially qualified candidates. We're just sorting through those now, getting them at the end of the day Friday, and hope to get some interviews scheduled here shortly. In the meantime, Brunswick's doing an excellent job in filling in as our needs arise. I had lunch with Speaker Batchelder and the core team that planned the activities for the cabinet members and legislators visit on the day of the State of the State, and the Speaker reported that they've received nothing but praise and accolades for the operations of the city, the look of the downtown, and the county as a whole, and that he expects that's going to pay dividends for us well into the future, and wanted to thank everybody that made the event so successful. And the National Day of Prayer events are being scheduled and planned for Thursday, May 1st. The Mayor's Prayer Breakfast, we do have the tickets available now. It's from 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. The tickets are $15. Dawn has them here at my office. They're also available at a number of the local churches. Noon prayer service on Public Square. In case of rain, the United Church of Christ will open up to permit the people to come over there. And then the evening prayer service will be at Cornerstone Chapel from 7 p. to 8:30 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Durham, Director of Finance.
Thank you, Mr. President. A couple things to report. As you know, the revenue estimate for the first set of budgets went out last month. Most of those have come back to me, and I will be getting them back to council next week. So we'll be starting on our 2015 to 2019 budget process. Do want to remind residents of the city income tax, and we have a filing requirement in the city of Medina. If you need assistance with that, there's 2 more opportunities to get free help from CCA with the forms. Those are Wednesday, April 2nd from 1 to 8, and Saturday, April 12th from 9 to 4. Both of those are at the rec center. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Huber, Law Director.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have no report.
Thank you. Chief Baraducci, Police Chief.
Oh,
Yes. Do you have a report?
yes.
Oh.
This past week, the law director filed a nuisance action on behalf of the city for a home that has been a problem in the First Ward. We will look to identify other locations throughout the city and rely on Mr. Huber to help us. We had a meeting the mayor put together with Medina Hospital and SUMA, which has come together to provide free of charge to us Narcan to reverse the effects of heroin overdoses. That drug should be in the cars in the next week to 2 weeks at the latest. I don't know of another location where 2 major hospital chains have come together to do that. I think we should be proud of them. But most of all, I think we should be proud of the leadership that the mayor has shown. It's not easy. He's got to decide against us on a lot of things, but he tries to do the right thing. And I'm honored to work for him. So, and he'll still suspend me if I do something wrong, but thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Ms. Rice, Economic Development Director.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just a couple of items for council and the public. I'm sure all of you are aware, but just a reminder, the City of Medina is leading a planning project to create a downtown strategic redevelopment plan. The project, coined Imagine Medina, will evaluate the current and future redevelopment potential for various market segments in the downtown, identify target development areas within the downtown that are currently vacant or underutilized, and develop a vision and strategy for these areas that will respond to opportunities in the regional marketplace. We are asking the community for their input at an upcoming public open house meeting on actually this Thursday on March 27th from 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. at Medina City Hall. Our Downtown Strategic Advisors, OHM advisors, will be here leading that meeting. So we are inviting the public to come and give their input and their ideas. And they can also visit our online project website at www.imaginemedina.mindmixer.com, which you can link to that off of the homepage of our website. And I will add that since this initiative has been kicked off, we've had a lot of interest from the developers, development community on what we are doing that I think we may not have gotten otherwise. So I think the initiative has been beneficial so far. Also, we are working on some ribbon cuttings to welcome some new businesses. There will be more details to follow, but April 25th, we've got O'Reilly's Auto Parts scheduled. And also, they're on North Court Street, as well as Just Mike's Jerky. That's opening on West Smith Road. And then also, we've been working with Sushi on the Roll on Boardman Alley there, who they are actually expanding their menu from just sushi to other items, and the restaurant's going to be called Twisted. And they will be having sort of a soft opening, and then they will work with us for an opening for members of council and elected officials. So stay tuned for that. And that is my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Mendel, Planning and Community Development Director.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. I just wanted to let everybody know about last week on Thursday, we had a special BZA Board of Zoning Appeals meeting regarding a application for a use variance for Loggerhead Brewery. That's was proposed at 325 West Smith Road. For anybody that knows, it used to be the site of Medina Tool and Die. It's an existing light industrial building, and they were granted a unanimous approval for the use variance to go into that site. So that'll be a really great addition to the business community here in the city, and maybe help spur some other redevelopment reuses along that stretch of Smith Road. Thank you.
Thank you. Chief Painter, Fire Chief.
Thank you, Mr. President. No report tonight.
Thank you. Mr. Wright, Recreation Center Director.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have a few notes. Good news for patrons who use the field house. The basketball leagues are officially over, and the field house is open again on Saturdays between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m., along with the weeknights after 5 for court use also. This Wednesday, March 26th, is the Medina City Schools Family First Night. There will be no homework or district athletic practices scheduled, so families can enjoy time together dining, playing games, or watching a movie. The Rec Center is also partnering in the event by offering a $3 per person admission from 5 to 8 o'clock, and the families can stay at the rec until it closes at 10 p.m. Note, the pools do close at 9, and a valid ID is required. Our Just Kids Stuff garage sale is Saturday, April 12th from 9 a.m. to noon. This is a great opportunity to buy used toys, clothes, sports equipment, and more for your children. This year we have 76 booths setting up, so it'll encompass the entire field house. All patrons will be able to park in the back lots, D, E, and F, and come in through the back entrance. Cost for the prime shopping time is 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Between 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. is $5, and only $1 from 10 a.m. to noon. A photo ID will also be required to enter the facility through the back entrance. The new MCRC Spring Summer brochure will be in your post newspapers on Saturday, April 12th, and will be available at the facility online, and online at www.medinarec.org on Sunday, April 13th. And lastly, our next scheduled Rec Advisory Board meeting is Thursday, April 17th at 7:30 a.m. at the Rec Center. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Worley, Parks and Recreation Director.
Thank you, Mr. President. After 5 years of fundraising, the Moms Club of Medina is partnering with the City of Medina to install the new playground elements at Fred Greenwood. The install dates are next week, April 4th, 5th, and 6th, Friday through Sunday, from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Any available community volunteers are invited to attend to help get their hands on building the structure. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Patton, City Engineer.
Thank you, Mr. President. Update, we have a couple projects that are starting construction. The improvements at Ryan and Lafayette, the intersection improvement, that project started today. And also Highland Drive, we, over the winter, did the storm sewer and water line replacements. The crew is expected to return to the site in the first week in April to start the pavement replacement. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pacoli, Service Director.
Thank you, Mr. President. We're continuing our daily pothole repair going forward. As we receive better weather, we will begin our tree lawn repair in the areas that have been affected by snowplow, scalping, and water breaks alike. Lastly, I want to announce the spring appliance roundup at the CPF, which is the Central Processing Facility. It's located at 8700 Lake Road in Seville, and it allows for county residents, city residents specifically, to drop off any appliances they want to get rid of. And that's from Monday, April 7th through Friday, April 11th from 6 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and on Saturday, April 12th from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you. Notices, communication, and petitions. We have one. Liquor permit not to object to the issuance of a new D1, D2, D3, and D3A permit to PJM Enterprises Ltd. doing business as PJ Marley's at 119 Public Square.
Move not to object.
My second is not to object.
Discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Shields.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
Hilberg.
Yes.
Colasar.
Yes.
Lamb.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Unfinished business, there's none. Introduction of visitors. Members of the public will be permitted the opportunity to speak on any issue or concern which pertains to the city during the portion of the council agenda devoted to introduction of visitors. All comments shall be directed to the chair, and a reasonable time limit of approximately 5 minutes will be imposed. If there is a group, please appoint a spokesperson. Speakers should approach the front right microphone, state their name and address so it can be entered into the minutes. Members of the public will be afforded the opportunity to comment on other portions of the meeting as determined by the chair or by a vote of the majority of council members present. Is there anybody that wishes to address council? Introduction and considerations of ordinances and resolutions. Resolution 42-14, a resolution naming the parkland formerly known as Nichols Property, the Stanberry and Maxine Nichols Park.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion? Mr. Worley?
This was a part of the purchasing agreement in the ordinance number 140-96 that we name the park Stanberry and Maxine Nichols Park.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
Mr. President,
Mr. Colzar?
I just want to take a moment and thank Jansen for, to me, long overdue for the naming of this park. And since he's been on board here, he's been trying to tackle everything, and I appreciate you getting this through, and I know the Nichols family does as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Will the clerk please call the roll on the resolution?
Simpson.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
Hilberg.
Yes.
Colasar.
Yes.
Lamb.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Shields.
Yes.
Resolution 42-14 passes 7-0.
Resolution 43-14, a resolution of council of the City of Medina, Medina County, State of Ohio, certifying that when a municipal obligation was incurred, sums were lawfully appropriated in the funds to satisfy the obligation, and sufficient sums currently exist to satisfy the obligation according to the attached sheets.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion.
Mr. President,
Mr. Shields?
emergency clause has been requested. I move to add it at this time.
My second includes the emergency clause.
Mr. Durham?
Thank you, Mr. President. As you know, whenever we have one of these, what are called then and now purchase orders, it's above $3,000, has to come to council for approval. This is for a roof repair that was an emergency repair. That's why it wasn't planned for in advance. The emergency clause is requested because the work has already been done and the vendor awaits payment, and we want them to be available when we have roof leaks.
Thank you. Any further discussion on the emergency clause or resolution? Will the clerk please call the roll on the emergency clause?
Hilberg.
Yes.
Colasar.
Yes.
Lamb.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Shields.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Will the clerk please call the roll on the resolution?
Coin.
Yes.
Hilberg.
Yes.
Colasar.
Yes.
Lamb.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Shields.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Resolution 43-14 passes 7-0.
Ordinance 44-14, an ordinance authorizing the final resolution and execution of all documentation between the Ohio Department of Transportation and the City of Medina for the completion of the US 42 and State Route 3 urban paving project.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion?
Mr. President,
Mr. Shields?
emergency clause has been requested. I move to add it at this time.
My second includes the emergency clause.
Mr. Patton?
Thank you. Previously, council approved the preliminary legislation for this project. This is our agreement and commitment to ODOT to pay our share, which is 20% of the construction cost for the resurfacing of US 42 between the city limits west of town up to North Court Street at Highland, and State Route 3 from the square down East Liberty to Weymouth to the city limits. We are asking for the emergency clause. We were given this final legislation in late February. This is the first council meeting we could get to with it, and in order not to delay ODOT's timetable for the project, they're asking that we submit our agreement and the check this week.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Will the clerk please call the roll on the emergency clause?
Lamb.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Shields.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
Hilberg.
Yes.
Colasar.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Any further discussion on the ordinance? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Colasar.
Yes.
Lamb.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Shields.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
Hilberg.
Yes.
Ordinance 44-14 passes 7-0.
Ordinance 45-14, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept 2 easements necessary for the Forest Meadows Drainage Improvement Project.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion? Mr. Patton?
Thank you. The council, at the last meeting, I believe, authorized our bidding of the project. This is our Forest Meadows drainage improvements. As part of that project, we will need to acquire easements from several property owners for storm sewer and drainage items, and these are 2 of those easements.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Clerk, please call the roll on the ordinance.
Rose.
Yes.
Shields.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
Hilberg.
Yes.
Colasar.
Yes.
Lamb.
Yes.
Ordinance 45-14 passes 7-0.
Ordinance 46-14, an ordinance authorizing the purchase of 1 Concord heavy-duty, low-mount stainless steel dump body, dump hoist, and related equipment package from Concord Road Equipment Manufacturing, Inc. for the street department.
Move to approve.
Second. Discussion?
Mr. President,
Mr. Shields?
the emergency clause has been requested. I move to add it this time.
My second includes the emergency clause.
Mr. Pacoli?
Thank you, Mr. President. The state bid allowed previously for 1 PO if we ordered a cab and a chassis and to be placed on for a body to be placed on that cab and chassis. So with this ordinance that went through in 2013 for a dump truck that we ordered or wanted to order, the PO was for the total amount of $88,000. Needs to be separated out, given that Concord has the body and will be building the same. So thank you. And they actually are building it as we speak, or want to build it. So that's why the emergency clause is asked for.
Thank you. Any further discussion on the emergency clause or the ordinance? Will the clerk please call the roll on the emergency clause?
Simpson.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
Hilberg.
Yes.
Colasar.
Yes.
Lamb.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Shields.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Ordinance 47-14, ordinance amending ordinance number 20813.
We didn't vote on the ordinance.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. Is there any more discussion on the ordinance? Clerk, please call the roll on the ordinance.
Shields.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
Hilberg.
Yes.
Colasar.
Yes.
Lamb.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Ordinance 46-14 passes 7-0.
Okay, ordinance 47-14, an ordinance amending ordinance number 20813 passed December 9, 2013, amendments to the 2014 budget.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Durham.
Thank you, Mr. President. There's 4 lines on this appropriation adjustment. The first one deals with a advance that we're in the process of repaying over a number of years for the South Court, or for the Progress Drive tank, pardon me. We discussed that a couple weeks ago at Finance. The other 3 all deal with the grant for the Champion Creek Trail.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Clerk, please call the roll on the ordinance.
Coin.
Yes.
Hilberg.
Yes.
Colasar.
Yes.
Lamb.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Shields.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Ordinance 47-14 passes 7-0.
Resolution 48-14, a resolution authorizing participation in the Ohio Department of Transportation Cooperative Purchasing Program for the purchase of sodium chloride or rock salt.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion.
Mr. President,
Mr. Shields.
the emergency clause has been requested. I move to add it this time.
Second. And the emergency clause.
Mr. Pacoli.
Thank you, Mr. President. As we discussed in Finance, the reason for the emergency clause, we received this request from ODOT regarding the state bid for rock salt on March 12th and put the request in the same day, and this needs to be signed and approved back to Columbus by April 8th. So I appreciate you taking it straight from finance to council.
My understanding is that winter's coming fast upon us, so you're getting ready for next year. We appreciate your promptness.
Thanks.
Is there any further discussion? Will the clerk please call the roll on the emergency clause?
Colasar.
Yes.
Lamb.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Shields.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
Hilberg.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Will the clerk please call the roll on the resolution?
Hilberg.
Yes.
Colasar.
Yes.
Lamb.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Shields.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
Resolution 48-14 passes 7-0.
Ordinance 49-14, an ordinance authorizing the finance director to make certain fund advances.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion, Mr. Durham?
Thank you, Mr. President. This is the mechanics behind the acceptance of the grant that we discussed earlier. We have to make an advance, and then we'll spend the money, and then we'll be reimbursed.
Thank you. Any further discussion?
Mr. President,
Mr. Colzar?
briefly, I believe Finance Director said that this money was going towards Champion Creek Trail, but this is actually the Champion Creek restoration of the creek itself.
Yeah, pardon me, I misspoke on that because we've done a lot of work with the Champion Creek Trail, but this is restoration.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments? Will the clerk please call the roll on the ordinance?
Lamb.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Shields.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
Hilberg.
Yes.
Colasar.
Yes.
Ordinance 49-14 passes 7-0.
Council comments? I have two. Tuesday, April 8th at 7 p.m., there will be a Ward 1 and Ward 2 meeting at Fire Station Number 1, which is at 300 West Reagan Parkway. So again, that's on April 8th at 7 p.m. for Ward 1 and Ward 2, Fire Station Number 1. The next item is there's a public hearing for the JED agreement with Lafayette Township at 7:30 Monday, April 14th, prior to the council meeting. Again, a public hearing for the JED agreement with Lafayette Township at 7:30 Monday, April 14th. Is there any other council comments? Hearing none, meeting's adjourned.
Kathy, why do I have this back?